Hello and welcome to Chapter 3 of the Portal 2 speedrun tutorial. This chapter is it's kind of where it starts getting real. There's a lot of... not a lot of, but there's several large skips in this chapter. It's not too big a deal right now, because back like a year ago you weren't allowed to save and load in this game, but now you can make quick saves and load them, so it's not a huge deal. But Chapter 3 is still harder. Probably for a lot of new people, because there's several precise skips. But in this room, you just get to this door as soon as possible, and the first thing in the chapter is a 40-second, like, really precise skip. So, this faith plate, normally, GLaDOS talks a bunch, and if I speed this up by 2 times, you'll see it just takes forever. Because she has to go through 3 different dialogues, and then jump on the faith plate for the 3rd time, and then she lowers the ceiling. You need to lower the ceiling for the map.
Good.
So, let me load my save and show you what it looks like if you do the skip.
You seem to have defeated its
she immediately goes to the last line.
I'll just lower the ceiling.
And then she'll just lower the ceiling. Alright, let me turn bit notifications off real quick. Sorry about that one. Yeah, but the way this trick works is that in the sky there's this trigger, and this trigger that I'm looking at right now is what triggers the dialogue. So if I were to jump on the faith plate, but then no clip so I don't hit the trigger, she actually doesn't say anything. And the faith plate still works. So if I hit that trigger, everything triggers. And the faith plate... actually, the trigger up here is what breaks the faith plate, I assume, but...
Well, I'm back. The aerial...
So that trick,
You seem to
I just keep doing it. Me doing it without explaining it isn't helping. So, the way you do that trick is you crouch in midair, timed perfectly, so that you hit this trigger, and then you crouch so your body goes down, and then you hit the trigger again. And then on your way down, you uncrouch so that you go through the trigger, and then uncrouch so that you hit it on your way down. And that sounds really precise, because it is really precise. But there's a fairly easy setup to get it. And what that setup is you look straight. If you're on this raised platform, looking straight means looking about there on that shadow. And then I'm gonna slow the game down to 5x speed. So the way you do it is, as soon as your crosshair passes like this point, it's actually that trigger that you're hitting twice. But as soon as your crosshair passes this point, you crouch. And then... wait, what do I have control down to? Okay. I'm gonna use that a lot. So, now the game's at 5 times speed. As soon as I pass this point, a little below that point, I crouch. And I also hold W. That's important. So this point that I'm just about to pass, I hold crouch, and I missed it. And then once I'm up here, so I hold crouch, and then as soon as I bounce off the wall, I stop holding W. I don't know if that's important, but it does help. And then just after I pass this line,
You seem to have defeated its load-bearer.
just after I pass this line, I uncrouch. Not when I pass this line, just after. So, and with that setup, it is fairly consistent for me, but it's a very precise trick. So you might have to try it a few times before you even get one. And also, if you do something like you crouch at the right time, but you don't uncrouch at the right time, then what'll happen is this. You get and that means you got one of them, but not both of them. Oh, I'm going faster. Yeah. That time I might have missed the crouch.
You seem to have defeated its load-bearing capacity.
So
well done.
I didn't.
I'll just lower the ceiling.
But if you get the trick perfectly, she'll say you seem to have defeated this load. Oh yeah, cool way to check. While you're doing this, if you type developer1 in console and turn off like show pause and stuff, you'll see all this text in the top left of the screen. That's some of the text anyway. And then if you do one dialogue skip, if you crouch, it'll give you a red error message. So if you get 2 red error messages, that means you did it. If you get 1 red error message, then it means you only got one of them. Like that. And which one you got depends on when the red error message happens. So that's a really cool way to practice. It's not allowed in runs, but that's a really cool way to practice it. Until you get it consistent enough that you can get it like every time.
You seem to have defeated its load-bearing capacity. Well
You
done.
could open the console in the run to check. Yeah, but also because it's 2019, you can make a save right here, and then say like, oh, I've messed it up. Like, oh no.
Well, I'm back.
Well, I'm back. You can try it again. And then get it.
This plate must
Or
not
not.
be
It's
calibrated to...
even if you practice it a bunch, you'll sometimes miss it. And then as soon as you
seem to have
as soon as you go down from the faith plate, strafe to this corner, because this corner, these panels will be up, but as soon as they go down, shoot about there. And then line up here. So you have that portal there, and then as soon as the catapult activates, it'll launch you through the portal. And there's actually a cool thing you can do with this portal. This is the only spot in the game where you really do it. Because you're going through a ceiling portal, your camera goes through the portal before your body. And that means that you can you can be in a state where you're on the orange side of the portal, but you're also on the blue side of the portal. So you can shoot an orange portal anywhere, and your body will actually still go through it. Like so. See there, I just teleported there. But that's fairly precise. It's like a few ticks. Oh, let me get this real quick.
You seem to have defeated its load-bearing capacity. Well done.
That's what it looks like in real time, and it's hard. It's only a 2-second time save. But if you miss that, say like, oh no, I missed it. Then what you want to do is jump to conserve your speed, and land down here. Shoot an orange portal under yourself, and then once you're up here, shoot there and there. Now hit the button on your way down, and strafe over to this cube. Take the cube, land here, and then aim it at this wall. You can either aim it 90 degrees or you can aim it like a little bit to the right. Don't aim it too far to the right, but you can aim it a little bit to the right. It'll affect something in the chamber later. And then this is the route, sort of easy route that I do. And then here, you can actually shoot a blue portal under yourself, shoot another blue portal here, to end up here. And then you can jump here, and then strafe and shoot an orange portal. And you land up here if you hold left. Something to note about that shot though is you don't want to shoot it too low, because then there's a chance you could hit the top of the portal and bad things will happen. I'm not getting it right now, but don't shoot the portal too low. There's also a slight route variation which is harder, is you do a reportal like this. But it does save time, so worth talking about. And then once you get up here, either way, shoot a portal where that laser is, and then shoot a portal there. How you aim the laser dictates where you shoot this shot. If you aim the laser straight, then you have to shoot the portal like about here. If you give it a slight angle, shoot it here. It's pretty simple. There's oh yeah, the wall strafe for that. For this jump, you have to do a wall strafe here, which means hold it forward and right, and then jump. You can't just hold W. Wall strafe and then jump. Yeah, if you hit the top of the portal, that happens, which is slower because then you have to go back here to shoot the shot and then here. It's annoying. The second command I read after developer 1 was just turning off CL Shepaz. It's nothing huge. There's also... Do I want to go over the other route? Because I don't even know if I remember the other route. The other route involves, like, shooting a portal here. It's very close to the intended route. And then go on this button. And going through there to get the cube. And then aiming it. And going over here. And doing this the intended way, which is not too much slower, but it's a very... I'd recommend learning the other route. It's not too hard. And also, on this elevator, you can enter as soon as possible. Which brings us to the next map, Ricochet, which is even... It's not really more complicated, but there's a lot you can do. It's kind of hard. I'm going to explain the normal route, the hard route first, which is not a beginner route. Well, hang on. What is the beginner route? Right, one of the beginner routes is... Well, let me explain the start, because the start's the same for everything. You shoot a portal about there, on that line. And then you have, like, two options. Actually, option 1, you can shoot the portal in the top right corner if you're going to do a wall-to-wall reportal, which is like that. And I explained the reportals last video in chapter 2, Pit Flings, but a reportal is you go through a blue portal and then shoot the blue portal when you're on the other side. You have several options for where to shoot the blue portal. You can shoot it on that wall, or you can turn around and shoot it on that wall. But if you shoot the orange portal down here, you can actually do a floor-to-wall reportal, and that's a bit faster, I think. Okay, so now I'm going to go over the sort of advanced route, and I'm going to do it in about half speed here. So that's the route. That's kind of hard, confusing. It's not really that hard, but it's very confusing. So what you want to do is fall through there with the cube. And then once you're at about the peak of your jump, peak of the fling, let go of the cube so it'll fall back into the orange portal. And then you shoot there. So what that does is the cube will fall through the orange portal out there, and it'll block the laser with just the right timing so that you can actually go past the panels. And if you time it exactly just right, you can have the panels push you up a little bit and fling you to the end. So right here is the timing part. To time this correctly, what you want to do is land on the floor that's not on the fling plate, whatever, catapult, and then do one jump so that you land somewhere. It's kind of precise, so that you land somewhere about just in front of the catapult, and then hold left And if you do it right, I did it wrong, but if you do it right, you will get flung a little bit by the panel. So you don't want to land on the panel. Also, one thing... Oh my. Okay, one thing to note about this is if you time it wrong, you won't get flung by the panel. And that's fine, because there's another route you can do. Like if I time it a bit early, I won't get flung by the panel. And what happens if you do that is you do a box bounce. So, this is a bad save. Let me get a bit better prepared to talk about box bounce. I keep pushing the wrong button. And I shut that portal wrong. Okay. But a good... Sorry, this is taking a bit longer than should. Yeah, say I miss this. And I don't get flung by the panel. That's okay. Because you can do that. And ideally you'll pick up the cube. You can do that, which is kind of hard. And let me slow down the game a bit and then do that. So what you do to do that is drop the cube before you hit the panels. And then as soon as you hit the panels, you'll hit the cube. And because of how the physics work, the cube will stop all of your momentum. And then as soon as you're stopped, pick the cube back up, and you'll land here. Like that. The timing is... You will have to practice that timing. But it's very doable. Also, I'm going to go over... I guess the sort of beginner route. Which goes a little something like this. You can do this fling... Or you can actually shoot up there first thing, and then do this fling, which is easier, definitely. And then either bunny hop across this gap, or fling across it. And then just get on the catapult and block this. Then get on the catapult again. Or wait, no. Get on the catapult, block that. Shoot up there. And then you can see that portal surface there. Do a portal stand there. And then grab the laser cube. And with the laser cube, you can do just box bounce again. If you can't do box bounce, then you can take the laser cube and go down here and like aim it through there. This is 100% intended, by the way. You can do that. And then you'll be able to do all the flings, just. And that'll land you there. Those are all the routes there should be. And then the fade timing for this one is the S of humans.
I didn't see the deer today. I did see some humans. But with you here, I've got more test subjects than I'll ever need.
And that gives you a perfect fade. Next is bridge intro, which is fairly simple. It's a lot simpler than Ricochet. So the first thing you want to do is bunny hop out here, and then shoot a portal there. And then about one hop before the portal, shoot a portal there, not there, there. And go through the portal, and hit the button. You can jump to hit the button. It makes it a lot easier. And then after you've hit the button and heard that you've hit it, jump down here using a portal. And you can either do this, or you can do this jump, which is not hard at all. And you want to shoot the portal on the right side of the bridge, because the cube dropper's on the right side. If you shoot it on the left side of the bridge, the cube will fall straight past the bridge. So then grab the cube, go back through the portal. There's like 3 different things you can do here. The easiest one, in my opinion, is to shoot a portal there. It'll be angled like that. And then go back through the portal and hold left. You land here. The other way to do it... Whoa, okay. Let me just cheat real quick. The other way to do it is to shoot a portal there and then jump over there. They're about the same. But the third way to do it, which is fastest, is to shoot a portal there again and then shove this cube through the glass like we did in Smooth Jazz. Now it's a bit random. Sometimes the cube will not hit the button or not stay on the button, which is pretty unfortunate because that means you have to go back and put it on the button. But nevertheless, those are the 3 ways to get the cube on the button. And once you've done that, you'll see there's this big trigger. That's the dialogue trigger. So you want to hit that as soon as possible. It's interesting. The easiest way to hit that is to jump like that.
Excellent.
And you don't have to make that jump. That jump's really hard to make. You just have to hit the trigger.
Speaking of which, I was researching
You can hit that jump though. It's really hard. And if you do the route where you push the cube through the glass, just do that.
Excellent. You're a predator.
Shoot the portal right before you go so that you don't fall too low below the bridge. Yeah.
And these tests are your prey.
And this dialogue is
Speaking
fairly
of which,
long.
I was researching
so.
sharks for an upcoming test. Do you know who else murders people who are only trying to help them? Did you guess sharks?
And the dialogue for here is wrong.
Because that's wrong. The
You go when
correct
she says
answer
wrong.
is
And
nobody.
it ends up being perfect.
Nobody but you is that pointlessly cruel.
Alright, the next map is one of the most infamous in the game. Because it is a cutscene, and you can skip the cutscene with raw, unfiltered skill. And that alone. Basically, this trigger right here will start a timer for that door to close. But if you bunny hop good enough, this is not going to make it. But if you bunny hop good enough, you can make it through that door. And there's several different ways to do it. There's actually like setups that you can do that involve like wall strafing or something. I don't quite remember. Like you can do it that way or something. But it really, you do have to be fairly good at bunny hopping to be able to go through that door. One thing to note is the times that the door like glitches open. It does that 3 times. There's like a 1 in 10 chance each time, or 1 in 30 chance or something each time, that just by holding W in the middle of the door you'll be able to walk through. Don't rely on that because it's complete RNG, but it is something to note if you mess it up. So I'm going to show you the bunny hops that I do to get past the door, which is the hardest version of them because you do them with those panels in the way. And then I get past pretty much every time. That's what it looks like. And then you're in here a good 50 seconds before you would be able to be otherwise. There's also a way where you can go in, wait for those panels to clear, and then do this, which makes it... You have to totally wait for them to clear because as you saw, you can get hit on the panels when they're nowhere near you. That makes it easier. What? Okay. Yeah. You can also do... Really, there have been several tutorials on this. And there's tutorials for weird setups like that. But basically the deal is you just have to be good at bunny hopping to get this. And something to note, it is a lot easier to enter on the right side of the door because the left side closes and then the right side closes. Let me try to show you. See, the left side will close, or no, the right side closes, then the left side closes, then the right side closes. So it's easiest to go in the right side of the door. Like that. And then if you can't get that, like, at all, it's not a huge deal. It's kind of a big deal, but if you can't get it at all, you will eventually be able to get it if you just practice bunny hopping. And then they're going to be talking it all. Now this, there's like two main ways to do this room. There's the easy version, and there's the hard version. And the hard version looks a little like this. Not recommended for beginners. I'll go over it, but not recommended for beginners. The easy version looks like this. And then here there's several options for what you can do. But I'll go over both of them. I'll go over the easy version first. So you shoot there. So orange, blue, orange. And then go to the left. Hit the button on your way here, and then blue. So orange, blue, orange, blue. Or blue, orange, blue, orange. And then here there's two things you can do. You can shoot down there, and then bunny hop all the way. Or you can shoot there, which gives you a sort of tricky hop to there. And the reason it's kind of tricky is because if you go too fast, you'll hit your head on that thing. It's a sort of tricky hop, and if you miss it, you die, so this isn't that much slower. And obviously you'd have the cube while doing all this. So the whole route one last time, like this. The one thing to note is there's some dialogue weirdness with this route, so I will demonstrate that real quick.
Good news. I figured out what to do with all the money I saved recycling your one room full of air. When you die, I'm going to laminate your skeleton and pose you in the lobby. That way future generations...
Whoops.
I'm going to laminate your skeleton and pose you in the lobby. That way future generations can learn from you how not to have your unfortunate bone structure.
I missed the button, so...
To laminate your skeleton and pose... Going to laminate your skeleton and pose you in the lobby. That way future generations can learn from you how not to have your unfortunate bone structure. Perfect. The door's malfunctioning. I guess somebody's going to have to repair that too. No, don't get up.
If you do this too slowly, like if you do a long setup for the door skip, and then you take a long time on this chamber, if you put this cube on the button after GLaDOS is done talking, but before Wheatley starts talking, Wheatley will interrupt GLaDOS at the end of the chamber, and then that will give you a horrendously long elevator. So let me show what that sounds like.
Don't touch anything. Well done. In fact, you did so well.
See, Wheatley interrupted GLaDOS, and now this elevator will take forever.
To laminate your skeleton and pose you in the lobby. That way future generations...
So there's two things you can do to stop that from happening.
Not to have your unfortunate bone structure. Perfect. The door's malfunctioning.
The first thing you can do is go fast enough so that you can put this on the button before Wheatley stops talking, or before GLaDOS stops talking.
Well done.
Because in that case, Wheatley won't interrupt GLaDOS.
In the commendations. I'll be right back.
Or you can wait until Wheatley starts talking if you're not fast enough to do that.
Well done. In fact, you
But
did
even
so
waiting that
well
long
that
while
nobody
is still
noticed on
faster
your
than it would be
phone.
like to get the bad dialogue. And that's bridge the gap. There's not really, you can't teach door skip. I showed you the way I do it, but it's just practicing. Oh, I did forget to go over the faster route. Yes.
I'll be right back.
I'll just go over this real quickly.
And pose you in the lobby. That way, future generations can learn from
So the
you
first
how
step,
not
shoot
to
a portal
have
up
your
there,
unfortunate
and then a
bone
portal here.
structure.
That'll create an infinite loop,
Perfect.
but we're not going to have
The
that much
door's
fun, don't worry.
malfunctioning. I guess somebody's going to
And
have
then
to repair that too.
No, don't get
Press this button, go through the portal, reportal off that surface like that, and then shoot an orange portal directly under you and jump off of that. Don't shoot the orange portal, like if you shoot the orange portal not directly under you, like a little bit forward or backward, like that, it probably won't work. So what it looks like full is this. You push the button and basically immediately do the reportal. Then grab the cube on your way, hold right so that you can go past this part of the ceiling and into that one. And you'll land there. And if you are able to do that, you definitely won't be too slow. So, and that's the route.
Recommendation section.
The dialogue trigger for this elevator is enter like halfway through the word room. Enter there.
Oh, there's lots of room here. Did well. Enough.
If you enter right on the word room, there's a chance that you'll go too early, and that's really bad. Alright, the next map is Turret Intro. This one's pretty fun.
This
Because you see the turrets. So I'm just going to go over... First off, I'm going to do basically the easier route. And that looks something like this. Something like that. And then put that button on the cube, then go here. So let me just go through that in slow motion, kind of slowly. So jump to the left of this turret. There's like a scripted, if you even touch the turret, it'll go flying. So then shoot behind that turret, there, peek, shoot blue, 180, orange, blue. This is a really good time to make a save, because this shot right here actually skips an autosave trigger. So if you die, you have to load from the very beginning. So make a save here. And go through like that. Shoot a portal here. Don't shoot it on the left side, because that makes it a lot harder. Shoot it here. Then here. Then here. Down here, grab the cube. I'm actually remembering now that the what's Nernica said back in his tutorial 7 years ago. So knock that turret over and shoot there. That turret actually can't aim at you as long as you're on this side of the room. So now here, you can either bunny hop through the door and ignore the turret, or you can kill the turret and then bunny hop through the door. Now I'm going to show the alternative route, the faster route. It's the exact same up till here, and then it diverges a little bit. You just ignore all the turrets and go right through. So exact same thing. Put the cube on the button. Shoot up there. Then down here. Then reportal yourself. The reportal isn't necessary, but it makes you go faster. And once you're through the door, circle jump. And then just bunny hop through here. In this, once you're in here, do not keep bunny hopping to the door. Stay in about the middle of the room, because otherwise the door won't open and you'll have to go back. It's annoying. The door literally will not open if you're in the front of the room. This map is pretty much the easiest map in the game. Right here, if you do a good circle jump you can get boosted by the stairs. I didn't there. But normally what you do is you try to do a jump off there and then a jump here, so you go under that door. Getting through the door as fast as possible starts this cutscene as fast as possible. So that's important. You don't want to bonk your head on the door like that, or like that, or hang on, or like that. That's bad. If you go fast enough, you can get boosted by the stairs in time to not bonk on that, but jump over. I have never ever once in my life jumped over the cube spawn trigger. Where is it even? How do you do that? You can't do that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's impossible to do that, literally. Yeah, well, there's a trigger there, and you have to hit it, otherwise the level's, like, almost impossible. It's basically never going to happen, don't worry about it. That's what the stair boost looks like. If you jump, tick perfectly, or almost tick perfectly off some stairs, you get a boost, because they're actually slopes. Alright, so here is something cool. You can jump here and actually shoot portals where you need to, before the level even technically starts. So, where... oh my god, now I have to turn streamer mode on. Yeah. So once you're here, while you're in here, waiting for this to open, you can jump, and then you'll be able to see this surface, just barely. So where you want to shoot is right here. So the third line, 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the fifth space. And shooting there lines this up perfectly for you to do that. Okay, so that lines this up perfectly. And let me show you what the shots look like when you're jumping for them. Look like that. And then as soon as this starts going up, circle jump to the left. And you should end up about here. And then you can line this up here. Something to note though, I have GLaDOS talking turned on, but she's not saying anything, because the dialogue does not start until you drop the cube. Okay, now I have her on.
To your oxygen supply, so you may be confused about the passage of time. The point is, yesterday was your birthday. I thought you'd want to know.
So the actual fastest way to do this is to grab the cube and then just drop it here. Because for one frame, the cube will probably be aiming in the right direction, even though only one of them is activated. So after she starts talking, then line the cube up precisely, drop it, and then go to the exit. Because this dialogue is fairly long anyway. But when you want to enter it is on the medical of medical experiment.
But you're going to be dead in 60 years. Well, I've been working on a belated birthday present for procedure. Well, technically, it's a medical experiment.
So enter there, and that gives you the perfect dialogue. Right, turret blocker is next. This one's pretty cool.
That's not me talking. It's right here in your file.
This door is another door where if you jump through it right, you can jump through it and just ignore having to stop. Okay, there's a few things you can do here. I'm really only going to go over the one. So you can shoot that portal right there, you have a fair bit of time before the turret starts targeting you. So you can actually jump out to here, shoot that portal, then go over here and shoot that portal. Now, this portal's interesting because if you stand here, okay, let me actually get there right. The turret can boost you through the portal. It's one of the few damage boosts in the game. But if you jump, the turret can boost you through the portal, and that gives you a lot of speed. And then what you have to get to that cube after the turret boost. And get rid of these turrets. But if you pick up the cube, sometimes it can actually be a bit hard to knock over the turrets. So the most effective way to actually knock over the turrets is to pick up this one and just knock them all over. And then pick up the cube. Put it on the button. Don't go too slow, otherwise you'll get beamed. And just go through. You can shoot anywhere here, go through. Or you can jump and then reportal. Like jump just before you reportal and do that, which saves half a second or something. Talk about missing boost. Yeah, the turret boost can be RNG. Start jumping when the turret starts shooting at you.
That's not me talking. It's right here in your phone.
Like I will show.
On other people it looks fine, but right here a scientist has noted that on you it looks stupid. Well, what does an neckbeard
Knocking over the turrets can sometimes be a hassle.
He probably... Oh, wait. It's a she. Still, what's a she?
I messed up the reportal,
Oh,
but
wait. It's a
that's
she.
what it looks like.
I'm going through
Or you
the
can
list
just go
of test
through
subjects.
some other way.
I'm going through the list of test subjects
And that line here is for a man and a woman. Enter on and.
in cryogenic storage.
There's another
I managed
route,
to find two with
but
their
it's
last name.
sort of hard.
A man and a woman.
I don't know it. I won't go over it.
So
You
that's
can look it up later if you
interesting.
want.
It's a small world.
Alright, so next is laser versus turret, which is pretty boring. And
I have a surprise waiting for you after this next test.
you can pretty much just follow along. Shoot this portal right about where the turret was aiming. Shoot that on the way. And then this here. And get on the button. And as soon as the third turret catches on fire, you can leave the button. You don't have to stand on it until it's done. And then you can jump through that portal. And you go through when the turret dies. And then now, grab this cube. Put it on the button. Then go back through. Sometimes going back through is a bit weird because there's the laser. Grab this laser cube. Kill all the turrets. And then aim it there. Then go through. Sometimes you miss a turret. It's possible to like bunny hop fast enough to not get killed by a turret. But very difficult, so try to kill all the turrets. And it's actually fine, totally fine, if you hit your head on this door, because the dialogue trigger is before. And this dialogue's a bit weird, because Gladys doesn't actually say anything, she's just humming. So this is the whole chamber again.
It involves meeting two people you haven't seen in a long time.
See, I hit my head, but it doesn't matter because she started singing. Enter right here. When she hits that A for the second time, enter. Or, well, the high note. And there's only, I think, two... Nope, this is the last map of Chapter 3, and it's one of the simpler ones. This is another door you can bunny hop through. It's in a really weird place, so I usually hop there and then go through the door. And then shoot these two portals. There's a portal helper there. Jump and grab the cube. Take it off. Jump and place the cube there. The game will just take the cube out from you, but I always like to use press the use key. If you put it like in like there, there's a chance it'll fall off the button. So try to put it in the exact center of the bridge. And then once you get to this note, or once you get to this platform, shoot either the blue or orange portal there. Just make the bridge disappear. So blue or orange here. And then jump a bit early so that you activate the dialogue. The dialogue trigger is at the floor level of the floor in front of me. So yeah, you have to hit that because that's what's important here.
Surprise.
As always.
In fact, we're headed to
And the
surprise
trigger here is after all these years. Enter on these.
right now. After all these years, I'm getting choked up just thinking about it.
Yeah, that map's pretty simple. You can mess it up, but it's hard to mess up. And that brings us right into chapter 4, which is a different video. Thank you all for watching, and good luck on your runs.